The CEO didn't realize the truth until he saw the little girl holding a photo of his ex-wife. Only then did it dawn on him that the pitiful little girl in front of him was actually his own biological daughter. Anxiously, he asked the girl where her mother was. The frightened child replied that her mother had been captured by bad men and taken upstairs. Hearing that the woman was in danger, the CEO rushed upstairs with the girl in his arms to rescue her. Unexpectedly, they ran right into the woman, who had just managed to escape. But the gang of thugs was still chasing her, forcing her downstairs. Exhausted, the woman was eventually caught by them again. Just as she was about to fall back into their clutches, she shouted to passers-by for help. To her shock, the cunning villain pretended to be her husband. He claimed they were simply quarreling as a married couple and even showed the crowd photos of her with the little girl as proof. The passers-by believed him and tried to persuade the woman not to argue with her husband for the sake of the child. Once the crowd dispersed, the thug tried to shove the woman into a van to sell her off. She resisted with all her strength, pressing her hands against the door to avoid being pushed inside. Furious, the villain picked up a rock and smashed her hands until they were covered in blood. Just as she was about to give in, the CEO arrived with the little girl. He immediately stopped the thugs. Seeing the CEO, the gang leader was terrified, realizing he had offended someone powerful. The woman broke free and ran toward the CEO, but some of the younger thugs, not knowing who he was, still tried to chase her. The CEO pulled his ex-wife into his arms protectively. In the next moment, hundreds of bodyguards appeared around him, shocking the thugs into silence. The gang leader quickly rushed forward to apologize, claiming his men had misbehaved and begging the CEO not to let this ruin their business partnership. But his excuses only enraged the CEO further. On the spot, he terminated their cooperation and ordered his bodyguards to punish the gang severely, breaking the hands that had dared to touch the woman and throwing them onto the street to beg. The woman, who had lost her memory long ago after an injury, felt a strange familiarity toward this man who suddenly protected her. After dealing with the thugs, the CEO checked her wounds. Just as the two were about to reunite, the woman collapsed from exhaustion. He rushed her to the hospital, where she lay unconscious on the bed after emergency treatment. Seeing the worried little girl, the CEO tried to comfort her, but before he could, the girl thanked him first. Having grown up without a father, she felt warmth from him for the first time. She then asked happily if he could be her dad. The girl explained that her mother had been raising her alone, working several jobs and even delivering food while carrying her along because there was no one else to look after her. Hearing this, the CEO became even more certain that this strong woman was his wife, who had cared for him during his blindness. He silently vowed never to let the mother and daughter suffer again.